Okay, conversion factors, units. So remember we have metric versions of 10 because we have 10 fingers and we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The only reason why number 10 is good because we have 10 fingers and there's an alien species that counts to 8 and goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, etc. But we have 10 fingers, so we made the metric system with 10s because we thought it was an easy thing to use. Imperial off to the right are the funny old things that like the British and the whoever used to use and the Americans still use. So we have things like distance, top left, below, millimeters, centimeters, meters, kilometers, and then all of their conversion factors and the upside down version of them both. Use the conversion factors like we did in the notes to convert from one type of unit into another. Okay, we're at the far right, big blue, imperial. So these are the imperial units, like inches and feet and yards and miles. And don't ever say that you don't use these sometimes like the silly Americans. Just kidding, we love you. But how tall are you? 5'9", 6'1"? Those are inches. We still use them all the time. And we can't just rewrite textbooks and every single measuring tape and whatnot. And it's very tough for people to go back and forth, so we still use them. So lots of books that you're going to be reading in the future might be from the States and you might have to convert or something. So all those units. What I have beautifully designed in the center of the page is how to get back and forth between the metric and the imperial. It's going to be very useful to memorize at least a couple of those. At least the top one, like 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. Okay, below to the left a bit, we have prefixes. Now, you're probably not going to be seeing prefixes, but we'll use them later in chemistry and physics when we want to talk about really big numbers in scientific notation and really, really, really small numbers without having to write so many digits. Okay, so we just looked at distance above. Now let's look at mass. So things like grams, kilograms, and tons. And off to the right, the imperial, pounds. And in between, their conversion factors between them. A little bit of information, big green, about water. And then into volume down below. And all the units of volume on the left are the metrics, like milliliters and liters and liters. And off the right, just take a look at how ridiculous some of these things are. Like all of these units, like the king was like, I want my foot to be a foot. And then all of a sudden, I want a field to be some name. And it's just, metric is so much simpler, everything on the left. And sorry, at the bottom, let's go for big yellow, excuse me, I overlapped, is time, like seconds and minutes and hours. And it's funny how we've already all gone to those. There's just those. Days, weeks, years, and we should know all those ones. So ask your teacher how many of these you get. Make sure you get your sheet and start to get used to using them and highlight them. Use mine, make your own, etc.